Hello, my dear lovely students. This is your English teacher, Zina Afrin. Let's see the next lesson, a play, page number 55, part 1.
Scene 1. A king's court. The court awaits the arrival of the king. Two guards are standing front right of the stage. First guard says to the second guard, "Be alert, the king is about to arrive." Second guard says,
Who wants to be alert? Life seems like one long sleep in this land. I am at ease all day, though I am a guard.
First guard says, "How boring! I wonder if some interesting drama will unfold at the court today. It would enliven the atmosphere." Second guard says,
I would be equally happy if there was none.
First guard says, "Halt! You are a stranger. Give your identity." Disciple.
You are right. I am a visitor here, a disciple of the wise sect from the Gangor forest which lies to the east of your kingdom.
First guard says, "What brings you here?" Disciple says,
I have heard amazing story about this kingdom of Andher Nagari and the great king Chopat. I am specially impressed by the fact that everything in the market is sold at the same price, no complications.
First guard says, "You have heard right. In our land, you can buy the most rich and delectable sweets for the same price as an equal measure of vegetables. Takaser bhaji, takaser khaja. I am quite happy about it. It makes life easy." Disciple says,
So it would be a good idea to settle in this land. But first I would like to attend the court today and pay my respects to the mighty King Chopat.
Second guard says,
You may stand there
pointing out,
with those people who are in a queue.
loud voice from backstage. "Here, you people, here comes the most noble, most revered, most gracious, most learned King Chopat of this vast kingdom. Make way for the king. Bow to the royal monarch." King Chopat arrives to the fanfare of bugles and drums and takes his place on the throne. King says,
Let the court begin.
Fourth guard messenger says,
The first complainant.
Thief rushes forward and wails loudly.
Justice. O most great king, I beg for justice.
King says,
And what is your complaint?
Thief says,
In this grand land of Andher Nagari, my friend and I have been truly hard-working, honest thieves. All these years we have been true to our profession. And what is our reward? Last night, with great efforts, we made a hole in the wall of a merchant's house. When all his family were away, my friend peered through that hole into the house, when suddenly the wall collapsed.
wails louder.
And my friend was instantly killed. I have lost my only friend and partner. O king, it is the merchant's fault for living in a house with such weak walls.
King says,
Fetch the merchant at once. A life for life. The merchant must be hanged.
Third guard leaves and returns with the merchant, who goes before the king. Merchant, "Mercy, O noble king. I had no intention of killing these skilled professionals. It is not my fault that the wall of my house collapsed. My house has been recently built. It is the fault of the bricklayer who carelessly built such a weak wall." King says,
Bring the careless bricklayer immediately. He must hang for his fault.
Second guard leaves and returns with the bricklayer. Bricklayer says, "O most kind lord and king," kneeling to the king, "have mercy, I beg you. Don't send me to the gallows. I agree that I built the wall which collapsed and killed a man, but it was not due to my carelessness. The mortar which I used to lay the bricks was of very poor quality. There was too much of water mixed in it. It is entirely the mortar maker's fault. King says,
Summon the mortar maker at once. He must pay with his life for his thoughtlessness.
First cart exits and returns with the mortar maker, who rushes and throws himself before the king. Mortar maker wailing loudly.
Forgive me, O merciful king. Please do not hang me to death. I have a wife and 2 young children who will look after them.
King says,
Your carelessness has cost a life. You must pay with your life.
mortar maker says,
No, 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 my royal lord, I am not to blame. The pot which I used to pour water into the mortar had an extraordinary large mouth, so excess water poured down into the mortar mixture. I was helpless. It was the potter's fault for making such a useless pot.
King says,
Let the potter be brought here at once. He must be executed for mounting such useless pots.
fourth guard leaves and re-enters with the potter. Potter cowering before the king. Your Majesty, show mercy to this humble potter. I agree the pot I made and sold to the mortar maker was a defective one. But I am not guilty. As I was molding that pot, I heard the sweet, delicate tinkling of anklets. It was the money lender's daughter. She distracted me just as I was shaping the mouth and it became too wide. King says,
Bring the moneylender's daughter here, this very instant. She must be sent to the gallows for disturbing this poor potter at work.
First guard leaves and enters with the moneylender and his daughter. Moneylender in a desperate voice.
O just king, spare my daughter. She is my only child and to be wedded next Monday.
Daughter says, Oh, do not fret, father. The king will not hang me. To the king, Your most esteemed highness, I rarely step outside the threshold of my home. But as my father said, I am to be married next week and my jewelry is not ready. I had to go to the goldsmith's shop to urge him to work faster and hand over my ornaments on time. The potter's shop is on the way. I could not help it. It is all the goldsmith's fault. Had he delivered my ornaments on time, I would not have been forced to go past the potter's shop. King says,
Then send for the goldsmith, and without any delay, he must be hanged. Thank you.